I made sky surfing in Minecraft. Yep, you heard that right. You can now surf in the air in Minecraft. Now, me and my dad love windsurfing. And maybe you've ever seen the Disney movie Treasure Planet. In that movie you have a scene of Jim Hawkins, which is the main character, using a flying surfboard with a rocket engine on the back. And when I was young, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I still do, by the way. And now that Create Aeronautics is out and with loads of testing, I might be the first person to make a working flying surfboard. So let me show you how it works. Welcome in my test world. And here I have the Sail Surfer or Sky Surfboard or whatever we want to call this thing. But it looks like this. And I'm gonna explain exactly how this thing works. It is super small. And actually the whole system is also pretty easy. But I had a pretty hard time to put all the engines and parts all within like 3 by whatever length this is. And most of it is all in the center. And to explain this, let's start with the actual engine. So in my hotbar, I have everything that is part of the actual engine. And the layout looks a little bit like this. And it's actually pretty simple. So we have 2 engines over here that are going into this configurable gearbox, which is this block. And when you put any shafts on any side, you can make, as you can see, you can put gears in there. When you do this, one has to spin one way and the other has to spin the other way, otherwise they will break. Then we have a clutch to stop and turn on the engine. And over here we have an Omni speed controller which can set the speed to whatever you like. And of course the propeller bearing. Now you can either choose to make your own propellers, but you can also choose to use the actual aeronautics propellers, like this one, the Andesite propeller if you want. But I like to make one myself because they have a little bit more power. And I made this propeller. Maiden likes to call this the jellyfish propeller because it has more of a length instead of a width. And I actually like that. There's probably an actual name for these kind of propellers, but I like to call it the jellyfish propeller. And that's actually the whole engine. This is all you need to actually power the whole thing. But as you can see, of course, it doesn't float, it just falls down. So there are a lot of more parts that are needed to make this thing actually float. Now, if you look at the actual glider, you can see that we have a lot of these levitite blocks. 2 in the back, because of course the engine is pretty heavy. And then 2 in the front, all the way in the front over here. That makes it so it actually almost floats perfectly. Like if I break this line over here and then pull it back up and then let it go, you can see that it almost stays perfectly in the air. It slowly falls down. Now this gyroscope makes it so that it actually keeps it stable, otherwise it would just flop downwards. You can see that we also have a lot of sails. We have normal sails that are sometimes upside down. Instead of giving lift, they do like an anti-lift basically. Same over here as well. And of course the whole sail is made out of the symmetrical sails which create drag. So in most planes and most flying objects, you want the actual wings to be sails to create lift. And all the rudders and everything that is more vertical should be symmetrical sails because they create drag. It is a super small thing. It is super easy, it's super small, and it's really easy to understand how this whole thing works. The only thing that is very interesting is this. This part over here is the actual steering. And how this works is the weirdest thing ever. And I will explain exactly how this whole system works. So a while ago, just when aeronautics dropped, me and my friends figured out that you can actually steer an airship with a spring. So if you have a simulated object and you put a spring underneath it and connect it to the bottom like this, you can actually choose the strength of the spring. So let's make it as strong as possible and let this thing go. Then as you can see, it has a little bit of a weird texture glitch that has to do with flywheel, I think, or with shaders. But you have this string and you can pull this all over the place, as you can see. Yeah, with the extendo grip, you can actually punch it, as you can see. But the weird thing is that this actually worked on a flying airship. You can actually pull this thing to the left or to the right. And because it's so heavy, like the gold block is pretty heavy, it kind of pulls the ship to a side, and you can actually steer by doing this and going up and down and left and right. And I use this system in this thing. and try to make that work. Now, if you have ever seen a windsurfer, they always hold the side of the sail. And I wanted to try to make something similar here in Minecraft. Instead of having a seat where you sit down, you actually have to stand and try to steer it by using these handles. These handles are pretty awesome because you can hold them, you can, as you can see, you can hang on them, and you can slingshot yourself upwards if you do it right. But I figured out that if you hold this, like make one of the sails and put a handle on it, and also a spring to the bottom like this, and then let it go, you can actually, if you shift and hold the iron handle, you can actually pull it to the side, as you can see. And up and down and left and right, and it's so cool. It's so cool to do it like this. And because I figured this out, I thought I can use this system, hopefully, into steering, well, this little air glider. And it works. And the steering and the stabilization system looks like this. So this part over here is the stabilization part, where you have this gyroscope that makes sure that the whole ship stays upright, or the whole board stays upright. So of course you need to give this thing a blaze cake, and then you can set the speed. I prefer to put it on like 128 or something, and that will spin this gyroscope and keep it level. So over here you can see exactly how it works. You have the engine and it keeps it level because of this gyroscope. Then this part over here is the part that you hold and swivel, and that makes it actually steer. So this part goes around over here in this little slot right here, and then what I did is put the spring right underneath it and against this trapdoor or whatever block you put underneath it. I made the spring like the strongest version, and also to make sure that this thing cannot like turn around. Like if I let it go right now, it will stay kind of in place, but as you can see, it's also a little bit lopsided, or it kind of faces the wrong way, and that's the downside with this spring. The spring won't keep it perfectly aligned. So to keep it aligned, I have these two rope connectors, one on the sail with the steering part and one on the gyroscope on the side, and then connect them with rope like this, and now it kind of stays in place. It stays stable, as you can see. It doesn't move that much, and also when you hold it, you can also not move it as much as it did before. As you can see, I can put it up and down, and left and right is almost not visible, but trust me, it does something. But yeah, this is the whole system. That's basically the whole thing. This is all what is needed to make it fly. Now the only thing is that it stays not stable enough because there are no real wings other than this little flap up here, which helps you go up and down. So to give it this windsurf look, I gave it, of course, a nose, gave it a little bit more levitite on the front, and also gave it a lot more sails to keep it upright. And that changed this into this. And the cool thing is you can give this your own color if you want. So you can give it any kind of really cool look that you like. I could do something like this, maybe give it a little bit color down here. And as you can see, I made my own little surfboard. But how does it actually fly? Well, I will show you. First of all, this thing needs power, so I will give it some blaze cakes. Now this machine has 3 engines. 2 in the back to provide the propeller with power, and 1 to propel the gyroscope. I couldn't do it all in one. If I did that, then it wouldn't be enough power to really fly. It would look a little bit stupid. So I just give it a stack of blaze cakes. Let's give this one and this one as well. Now everything has power. Now let's see if this thing is actually pushing forward. It does, so that works. Let's put the speed like very low for now and break the rope. It won't go anywhere. It stays perfectly level on the ground, but as you can see, it slightly slides over the ground. So that's why I actually connected with a rope, so it doesn't slowly move forward. Then we're gonna stand on this thing over here. Here's the handle that we have to hold. So keep in mind, you have to shift and then right click, and then you can hold it. Now it's getting used to it, but like the actual steering system is opposite. So to go to the left, you have to face to the right. And as you can see, and now I'm starting to go to the left. If I do it the other way around, I will go to the other side. So facing left is going right, and facing right is going left. Weirdly enough, upside down is not the opposite. So if I hold upwards, I will actually start floating. Maybe you can see it. Let's see if I can. Yeah, as you can see, I'm starting to slowly go off the ground. If I hold downwards, I actually go down faster. So we have a little bit of speed. Let's maybe put it on, what, 20? Turn it on and we will move forward. Now I have to shift and hold the actual bar. And then when I face it upwards, I will slowly ascend. It's hard to see, but as you can see, I'm slowly moving upwards. And then if I want to go to the left, I have to face to the right. And it's pretty responsive. So as you can see, you can easily steer. Now let's give it a little bit more speed. You can go all the way up to the max speed, I think, but that's a little too fast. Let's go like 100 or something. That will give us a little bit more speed. And when I hold it upwards, I also go upwards. I want to go to the left, so I have to face to the right, and there we go. It's a bit finicky. It's getting used to how it works, but as you can see, we're going upwards because I'm holding up and I can steer pretty well. And this thing is just so cool. I'm standing on a surfboard in the air. I am air surfing. I'm sky surfing in Minecraft. I'm the first one that can sky surf. This thing is absolutely awesome. I'm so happy with how this thing turned out and that it works. It's so cool. There are a few things that I have to address, and that's, of course, this is a mod pack. If you're interested in the mod pack, you can find the download in the description. It's our Create Aeronautics and Colonies mod pack that we have running. There are some really cool mods in here. So if you're interested, you can find the links down in the description. With that said, of course, this thing cannot be completely made only with the Create Aeronautics. For example, this gyroscope comes from Create Aeroworks. And there are a lot, and I mean a lot of add-on mods that are now being made and being published. So there will be more and more that will be added. So for example, the gyroscope comes from a different mod, and also the this one, the gearbox, the configurable gearbox, comes from Create Encased. Then we have this brown levitide, which is just a decorative thing where you can have different colors of the levitide blocks. It doesn't use a lot of add-ons or mods, but just so you know. Let's go for a ride, shall we? Let's see, 87, more than enough power, and let's go. Look at that. This is so cool. Oh, I love this. Also, that airship over there, that's the airship of Maiden. He will make a video about it soon, so I won't spoil it too much. We're so high up already. This is so cool. I think we can easily get to the clouds. Yeah, look at that. We're already almost higher than the clouds at this point. This thing has basically unlimited height. You can go as high up as you like. And as you can see, we are above the clouds already. So let's turn around. Look at that. We're surfing above the clouds. Also, if you're kind of straightened out, you can just basically walk around it. You don't have to hold it all the time. Like I can walk to the front a little like this, and now I'm standing on the nose. Look at that. And we're going pretty fast as well. It's not even the fastest speed. Let's head back and smooth landing. Turn off the engine. Look at that. Talking about smooth, it's much more fun to play Minecraft with friends. But you don't want to pay a lot of money for a huge server where you won't even use the capacity of anyways. And that's where the hosting service Pigo comes in, today's sponsor. Pigo has super strong, affordable servers, specifically made for groups of friends that love to play Minecraft. With multiple subscription plans, 8 GB free trials, a well-built control panel, and I mean, actually an amazing panel. It's really cool. Personal help with migrating hundreds of mods and setting up your server perfectly. No endless chatbots. You can actually talk and get help from the creator himself by email or through Discord. But the cool thing is, he probably fixed already your problem before you can even speak to him. And now they got a huge deal running. If you use code ROSS at checkout, you get 25% off your first month of any subscription plan. They are based in Europe, but I tried a modded server with my friend Maiden, who lives all the way in Thailand, and he had decent connection. So head down to the link in the description, use code ROSS, all capitals, and start playing modded Minecraft with your friends. If you choose to use their servers, thank you so much. This thing is absolutely one of the most amazing things that I've ever made. I'm so happy how this thing turned out and that it actually works and that we can fly like this. Look at the sky, look at the sun. This is just so cool to be able to stand on here like this We're going through the clouds. That's so cool. And I know what you're gonna ask. Is there a schematic? And yes, there is. There is a free download of this design over here on my Patreon. It's such a small thing. You could probably make it by just this video and by just looking at it. But yeah, if you want to try this yourself, the link is down in the description. You can go to my Patreon. There you can both find the schematic as well as the mod pack that is needed to actually make this thing work. Now there is a little bit of a procedure with the schematic. When I paste this, as you can see, the whole steering system is not connected. So that's something you have to do by yourself. I will also include a physics assembler. You can assemble it and then you just break this block after. Now, if you're playing creative, you need a creative physics staff to get this thing to line out. But I also make sure that you can do it in survival as well. And just like I've shown in the video, you have to place this one right in between there in this little gap right here somewhere. Then underneath here, you can just about right click this sail. There we go. And right click on top of this carpet. Right click with a wrench to make it the strongest spring possible. Then use rope coupling, couple these two parts together like so. And then you can unlock it and there you go. Now it's connected. I will make sure that this is also possible in survival. And all of that information will be on Patreon as well. But that's gonna do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're gonna enjoy this amazing, amazing surfboard. Thank you very much to all the Patreon supporters and YouTube channel members. And of course, if this is the first video you see of my channel, then I highly recommend to stick around because we are going to make a lot of really cool stuff with the new aeronautics mod. A lot of cool projects are coming soon. Anyway, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.